All right, welcome back. Welcome back. See, that worked out. I think that may be how we do it, even when I go back to my Saturday mornings. I think that I may do a Q&A beforehand, and then roll into the Budget with Me live because I don't know, that just really worked out for me. So I don't know if it worked out for you or not, but I enjoyed that. And I think the time constraint of knowing that I was going to have a live right after. Hi, Christina. Christina is one of my coaching clients. Thank you for joining on the call. I think that the time constraint makes me want to get through the questions a lot faster. So Samantha, Cecilia, so you guys know the deal. As you're coming in, please say hello and let me know what city and state or country you are from. Why Gmail account, hello from Puerto Rico. Hi, Puerto Rico, and I'll start my country countdown because you guys know I love my international audience. Felice Max said from Atlanta. Ronnie, hello from Maine, Barbados. I had a boyfriend who was from Barbados. Well, his family was from Barbados. Hello from Florida. Whitney from Harlem, New York. You guys want to know? I don't know why I stepped it there. Want to know something that's really interesting? I was looking at the analytics for my audience, and I have so many people from New York City, and I had no idea that so many people were tuning in from New York. Elena from London, Arizona, Roslyn, South Kakalaki. I said that slow, but I think I'm supposed to say it faster. Queens, New York in the house. Hello. Moreno Valley, Virginia. Las Vegas, Houston, Kentucky, Colorado, New York, DC. Pretty soon I'm going to be able to do like the song from junior high, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Alabama. There we go. Texas. I'm super excited to be chatting with you guys on this glorious day. Let me get the question part down here set up so that I can see. Andrea, Atlanta from Sue Ellen. Hello. Alicia, Allison from Jamaica. Hello. Temporarily in Orlando. Diva, Miami. Okay, so are you normally from Miami? Is that why you're like, let me make this clear. This is temporary. Indy from North Virginia. Welcome. For those of you who are just joining me for the first time and have no idea who I am, my name is Stacey Flowers, and I'm a student of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, and I'm on a journey to become 100% debt-free. My current debt is nearly $200,000. I'm on baby step number 2 to repay all of my debt, and last month my income was $4,300. In this video, I'm going to be going over my budget for December 2018. So for those of you all who are interested, please keep watching. Just so you know, this video usually is about an hour to 90 minutes because I'm actually going through the forms, and I highly encourage you to go through the forms with me, like at the same time. And to that end, if you want to access the forms, you can either go to my latest post on the community tab, or you can go to the description box on any of my budget videos and you can link to the forms. And there should be 3 forms: a quick start budget, a cash flow plan, and the allocated spending. So hello. I am so excited. I'm so excited. Victoriaville, California. That sounds like a lovely place. I just have water in here, guys. This month's budget is a doozy. I don't have as much like emotional like drama that I did from the last one, but there are a couple things that I've just been needing to really like think through that I'm gonna be looking for your support. But you guys know that staying hydrated when you have to think through complex problems helps your brain. So or maybe not complex problems, I don't want to make it dramatic, but when you have to think, it just helps. Ebony said, how do you think your 2018 went as far as finances and savings? I think it went amazing. Savings, I think it's harder for people to evaluate the metrics of my process because it's not traditional. It's very countercultural. So savings went amazing. I was supposed to save my $1,000 emergency fund. I did that. I also created a sinking fund, a health savings account where I have $500 in that sinking fund just in case I have any sort of medical costs that come up. And then, so that's from a savings side. And then from a financial side, or finance side, it was also incredible. My income at the top of the year started at $800, and last month I earned $4,300. And so, I mean, I don't know what that percentage is of increase, but that's more than double. It's, I mean, you know what I mean? It's more than doubled my income. And the other significant thing about my income is this is what I'm earning and I'm working part-time. So I think that overall finances, that's just incredible to increase my income that much, also at the rate of time that I'm working to be able to get to that level. And then I think the other thing that really made 2018 an awesome year financially is that I was able to move, and I was also able to restart my company. And I think those are two major, massive things that typically drain people financially when they're starting, when they're dealing with finances. And the fact that it didn't drain me financially is a testament to how well the 2018 financial year has been. So yeah. I'm going to answer a few more questions while people are coming in, and then we are going to dive into this month's budget. What is the temp like up there? Today it wasn't that bad. At like 6:30, I want to say it was like 23 degrees. I don't know if that's, maybe it is bad, but you know what? I have a winter coat, so it didn't feel as bad. It's about 23 degrees today, but I'm pretty sure that that's like super cold. So let me not qualify that by saying it's not that super bad. Jessica Stark, you are my favorite YouTuber in all the land. Thank you very much. Yes, this will be ABC. This will be saved. It's 2 a.m. I still have a job to get done. Yes, and to my international audience, I truly apologize. It's something that I think through, which is one of the reasons why I usually do my lives in the morning. But I apologize. I missed last Saturday, and so when I did the poll, this was the day that won out. But in the future, I'll make sure that the time difference for international and domestic audiences, you guys are able to both be on there. So thank you so much for joining the Q&A. I did that for you. And this replay will be up for you as well. Andrea Fraser, do you still do life coaching? Yes, I do life coaching, business coaching, and budget coaching. So if you're interested in any of those services, just email me at info@staceyflowers.com. Business coaching and life coaching, the rate is a $50 investment. Budget coaching, the rate is a $25 investment. So I think that's it. Paula Dion said, what is your budget for Christmas? That's something that you guys are actually going to help me with. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Because having gone home, I learned some things that I want to make sure that I budget and plan for this month. So, let's see. Nashville, anything under 57 makes me sad. 57 degrees. Whitney House, I discovered your page a few weeks ago. Very insightful. Crazy part, I already follow you on IG. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm working on my IG. You guys will see IG changes and improvements in 2019 because I'm working on IG. Wayne, I emailed you today at the info email today. Yes, I did read that email actually before I jumped on the call, so you will be getting a response back just after we get off the live. Where was the poll on the budget with me live? I missed that. It's just on the community tab. So it's just like a status update that comes up, kind of like Facebook. I loved your chili recipe on IG. Yeah, thank you. I love the chili recipe too. Oh yeah, that's my favorite. This is my favorite apron. I got it when I was in Rwanda. Okay. All right, so I am going to, let me look to make sure that there are, okay, so as I mentioned, it's about 90 minutes to complete this particular live, just in terms of you putting your time together. Important going ons for this month. This month, Christmas is here, and Christmas has a tendency to bring up a lot of emotions around giving, a lot of emotions around receiving, a lot of emotions around relating to relatives. And I mention this often, money is incredibly emotional. And in order to be able to, oh, I didn't see that. Someone, I want to be able to say thank you. TKLA05, thank you very much. I see your generosity up there, $9.99. I appreciate that. I don't know how that works. Somebody asked me, how do you send money like while we're in the live? If somebody can type that out in the description, because I don't actually know how to do that. But money is incredibly emotional, and so I want to address how I plan to deal with the emotions that come up around the holidays and the spending that will occur around the holidays. So that's something that's important that's going on. The other thing, and I mentioned this before, budget coaching is available. I do take a limited amount of clients just because I want to make sure that I'm giving that client undivided attention. And what we do when we're on the coaching call is we work through what your budgeting philosophy will be, because again, Dave Ramsey is not the only person that philosophy you can use. We figure out your why, and we complete a budget together online while you are doing it. So it's all about giving you additional inspiration, accountability, and organization around your budget. And I highly recommend doing it for December because it's the final month of the year, which is an amazing time to get into the habit of budgeting. So that's something else that's going on this month. And then this is the third month of me working for myself in my own company part-time. And that's just important to just mention that that's going on, because I've been running my company since the beginning of the year, but this is the third month where exclusively all of my earnings have come from my company. And so I just want to acknowledge that, because as we're going over the income and whatnot, that matters. My intention this month is the same intention that I had last month, which was to focus on repaying my debt. I'm so happy that that was my intention, because let me tell you, I had so many reasons to not focus on paying off my debt. But I just want to keep focusing on, or excuse me, actually my intention last month was to focus on my debt snowball, which that language is important because if you guys remember, originally I didn't prioritize my IRS bill, but because my intention was to focus on my debt snowball, when I got new information about where the IRS bill belongs in the debt snowball, it was, I was going to say easy, but that would be a lie. It was, I did what I needed to do to move the IRS bill to its priority position, because my intention was to focus on the debt snowball. My intention wasn't just to pay off debt. It was to focus on doing the debt snowball right, because now that's actually the skill that I'm working on. You know, in the beginning of this process, I was working on the skill of managing my four walls. Then I had to work on the skill of baby step one, which is creating my emergency fund. Now I'm in the learning the skill set of paying back debt. And I just think that that's important to just express, because I think a lot of times when people think about this program or any other program, they're like, it's so overwhelming, it's so overwhelming. And it's just like, yeah, it's overwhelming when you think you have to do all of that at one time. But the truth of the matter is if you've been watching my journey over these last 12 months, I didn't do it all at the same time. I first focused on my four walls. Then I focused on figuring out how to save, and now I'm focusing on the debt snowball. And each different thing that I focused on, there were new bits and pieces of information that popped up that were just like, oh, you're going in the wrong direction. You need to turn around. You need to start over. You need to redo that. You need to redo this. I remember when I was working on the savings piece, that's when I probably put out the most money videos. I think I was updating you guys once a week, because savings was such an identity piece for me. It's not identity for everyone, but that's something that I realized, is that it was such an identity piece for me. So again, my intention for December is to focus on my debt snowball. Focus on my debt snowball. So before I turn you guys over, I'm going to look through just to see if there's any questions, and then we're going to get into the first form. Make sure you guys are drinking your water, because otherwise, man. Can someone type the email address? Yes, please. The email address is info@Stacey, STACEY, flowers, like a bouquet of roses.com. Okay, they said if you want to send money now, just push the money icon. There's like a $sign in the chat, and that allows you to just send money now if that's something that you want to do. Awesome. How many of you all are filling out your budget with me now live? If you're filling out your budget with me now, press 1. I just want to kind of get a feel. Viola, I'm assuming you asked something because somebody said you have to find your why as a couple. Yep, you do. You need your individual why, and then you need your why as a couple. And again, I'm a single person doing this, and so it looks a little bit different. And a lot of people ask me how to adapt a lot of the things that I'm doing for a larger family, for you and a spouse. And one, I would say everything that I'm doing for myself individually, you can bring your spouse and your kids into. But two, there are a lot of other budget channels where people are in a relationship and they are doing this. And I highly encourage you to watch those other channels because they can speak to an experience that they're experiencing. Now, I can theorize about what I would do, but I think that there's something to be said for people who are actually going through it as well. So it's worth listening to them if you can find people that resonate with you. Christina, you're the best budget coach in the whole wide world. I swear I love you. I love you too. I can't wait to chat with you tomorrow. Yeah, that medical bill city girl was brutal. Still brutal. You gonna see today. It's still brutal. I had a lot of empathy with you on that. Xavier, amazing how different it feels to watch it live. Baby is sick of that city girl as much as you were. Listen. How much should be in your emergency fund, Aqua Adams? According to the Dave Ramsey program, your baby emergency fund is $1,000. Redbone Scorpio 79, I'm proud of you for working through your city girl emotions. Thank you. It was tough. Doing it in a notebook. Okay. Kim B. Beauty said, I'm just watching because I'm at work earning the money to be able to budget. Laugh out loud. What if your spouse is a spender and I'm trying to go hard on the budget? So frustrating. Yeah, I'm a spender. And so as a spender, the only thing that's going to stop me from spending is if you redirect my spending. So if you guys notice, I spend all of my money in my budget. I am not a saver. It was hard for me to save. So what I would encourage you to do if your spouse is a spender is to get them to get involved in where the money is being spent. Like instead of you being like, okay, we are spending $100 on groceries. It's like, no, ask the spender, how much money would you like to spend on groceries? And then try it for a month, because as spenders, we need to spend. Even if we're only, because I spend $50 a month, right? Even if I'm only spending $50 a month, people are like, buy in bulk, go somewhere. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this a month because I'm a spender. I can't not spend any money each month. At least that's how I feel right now, because it's just in my DNA. So to get the spender wrapped in, it's just like you got to get them wrapped into the budget amounts that you set for each category so that they still feel like they're spending. And the idea is just redirect the spending towards the priorities that you set. But don't try to stop a spender from spending. Just redirect them to spend on the priorities first, and then the ones second, etc. I'm single, so I have to think ahead of what my daughter might need for school. Yep. Okay. What Dave Ramsey book are you using? I'm actually using his Financial Peace University program. Inside of that program, it comes with, it's not the Total Money Makeover. It's another book, but I let somebody borrow it, so I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, put the budget in writing. It shocks some spenders to see it in black and white. Yep. But even as shocking as the number will be, spenders will still not, they won't stop spending. That's why I say you have to redirect a spender. Like a spender will never convert into a saver. Like in order for a spender to start saving, it has to be on like auto draft. But like a spender is not gonna be like, oh, you know what I should do with some of this money? I should save it. No, they're gonna be like, I just got $500. How can I spend this? Yeah. Purple Rose, what was the weirdest reaction you got from your entourage, family, friends, when you started selling stuff online? My mom freaked out. I think the weirdest reaction I get is to like food. So many people are super concerned that I'm possibly malnourished. But I mean, my family knows me and they know that I'm pretty I'm gonna do what I want to do, kind of a thing. Same thing with my friends. So I think in the beginning, when I was sick and I was doing it, there was more compassion and like, please don't do this to yourself, kind of a thing. But I didn't get a negative thing. I think some people who wanted to be negative just stayed silent because they were like, if I don't have anything nice to say, I'm just not going to say anything at all from like friends and family. Yeah, so. Asia Maxwell, will you be using a budget planner at all for 2019? Yeah, I'm going to continue using the Dave Ramsey budgeting forms for 2019. Do you budget your business and system separately? Felicia Mack, yes. My business is budgeted separately. I actually have an accountant for my business. Yeah, but it's budgeted separately. Dave Ramsey's program, when you buy the Financial Peace University, it's $125, but you can listen to him for free on iHeartRadio. All right. Yep, Pamela Blackstone. I'm a spender. I think about saving before the money comes, and then once I receive it, the money, I'm like, how can I spend it? Yeah, it's like, but when you get that, you can have more compassion for your natural ways, and you can build in support to support you. Are you going to do a 2019 goals video? Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys know that I'm a planner and I love goals. Yep, can you download the Dave Ramsey forms for free? Yep, if you go to the community tab, there's a link, or if you go to any of my videos, underneath those videos, there's a link. He has a YouTube channel too. All right, so now we're going to get into the budget. Oh, thank you, Nicole Faith. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, now we're going to get into the budgeting form. So we're going to start with the quick start budget. I'm going to turn you all over, and we are going to get typing. And you can just keep asking your questions. I will periodically glance to answer questions while we do this. But the quick start budget, for those of you all who are not familiar, the quick start budget is the budget that you use so that you are able to see your 4 walls clearly. Essentially, the quick start budget is your 4 walls, or an overview of your needs. What I have come to call this budget is like your survival budget. Like, this is what you need to survive, the bare not the bare necessities, what you need to survive, what needs to be taken care of. So many of you know, here at the top, I do my tithes, but I also do my child support. That's the first C. I do my son's commission. Commission is just another language for allowance. I don't use the language allowance because allowance is not something that people experience in their adult life. And I'm trying to use language with my son that supports what he's going to experience in his actual life as an adult, because he'll spend more time as an adult than he will a child. And then I also pay for my son's iTunes. So my income that I'm anticipating for December is $6,000. So for tithing, I do 10% of what I bring in. So that would be $600. And I wanted to point this out: for my child support commission and iTunes, I do 10% as well. I'm going to increase this ideally at the start of 2019 to 20%. A good friend recently told me that that is the standard amount that typically the non-custodial parent pays out of their income, is 20%. And so I want to get to the point where I am sending 20%. It is something that I do voluntarily because I believe that it is my responsibility financially to care for my child. And I want to do that. So you will see this number change in January. But for now, it is 10% to tithes, 10% to child support commission and iTunes. My emergency fund, I don't need to do any emergency fund or any sort of savings because my baby emergency fund is fully funded and my health savings is fully funded. We may come back here because when we get into the conversation about Christmas. So I'm going to leave it blank for now, but just know that we may come back here. And if we come back here, I'm not seeing that as a necessity. I'm seeing it as a want, but we may use the language savings. So then we want to come down to rent. For rent, my rent is $845. And so I put that there. Then I have renter's insurance. My renter's insurance is $5.75. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to press play on that so the screen doesn't go out. And then I'm just going to do some quick math here. I probably should know what this number is because I literally add it up every single month. But, and Angelique said, what Dave Ramsey she using? I'm using the Dave Ramsey budget form, the quick start budget. Amanda Adams, where should someone get started with a budget? What version? I think I got this program in 2014. I think I got this program in 2014. His budget forms don't change. He's updated it. He's created an online form so you can do every dollar app. I'm just a pen and paper girl, so that's why I like to write things down. You know, I'm a spender. I got to touch it or it's not going to be real in any way, shape, or form. I'm just wiping off the screen. It was a little fuzzy. So $850.75. And then my electricity bill, I'm on the budget for $25. My gas bill, I'm on the budget for $25. I don't have water, but I made mention that I have this second gas bill. And last month it was $17. Again, we're in winter and that's sort of my cooking gas. So I'm thinking it's going to be around that amount, but I'm going to just keep budgeting $25 for that just so I can make sure that I stay in front of it. My phone bill is $35.82. And then my internet bill comes out of my business budget and then I don't have cable. So I'm just going to add those up. So $110.82 is the total there. Yeah, Xavier, I love the Every Dollar app as well. I have to do a pen and paper first to make it real, and then I transfer everything to the Every Dollar app as an additional checks and balance system. So groceries, my grocery budget is $50 a month. I'm going to stick to that $50 grocery budget for the month of December. When I say this grocery budget, this is the groceries that I'm going to purchase for my home here in Chicago. Groceries potentially that I would spend when I travel home are going to be different, and you guys are going to hopefully help me think through that whole process. Clothing, I got a couple of things. I don't know. I guess I could get some long johns. I'm gonna do $50 here for a little bit more clothing. I was able to get a lot of clothing in November unexpectedly just because of the way that money came in. So I may not need that, but we shall see. I'm just gonna put it there for now. Then for my transportation, I don't have a car note, but I do like to give myself $50 for transportation. And to be fully transparent here, at the beginning of this budget, at the beginning of when I was doing the budget, this was $100 because I was buying a bus card or a venture card that allowed me to ride the bus and the train unlimited. And now with about $50 a month, I'm able to use Uber and get everywhere that I need to go. And I do think a lot of that has to do with when I was working my part-time job, when I moved closer, so I was able to walk to work. But then also I'm in walking distance within a lot of the places that I would meet potential coaching clients or like go to hang out with friends. And then most of this budget is just spent on me Ubering back and forth to my therapist. And then a couple of days a week, maybe like getting a one-day pass to go to the library or something like that. So I just wanted to talk about the transportation thing, because I think sometimes when we do our transportation, we're like, oh, I can't afford Uber. It's like on Uber, I'm actually spending less than when I was going by the bus. So it's you really do have to evaluate your lifestyle and make sure that the budgets that you're setting are in alignment with your priorities, as opposed to this is just the cheapest thing, therefore this is what I'm doing. Life insurance, you all know that I started my life insurance last month. My life insurance is $150 a month. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Life insurance is $1044 a month. Health insurance is $150. You guys are going to be like, what? Life insurance. Okay, and then I don't have disability, childcare, entertainment, other. What I used to put here on this other is therapy, but I have reconciled that therapy is a want, not a need. It's a priority, but it's definitely a want, not a need. And that sometimes breaks my heart. But being honest with myself is helping me to manage my money better. So that won't go here. It'll go on the next page. So this is what I have for my 4 walls. So I'm just going to add up all of these numbers here and see what my basic budget, my survivor budget is going to be for the month of December. All right, give me just 1 second. I just want to put this here. I'm gonna add it again just to double check. Just to double check my numbers. Okay, so let me double check my numbers. 600 plus 600. And let me know if you guys are seeing any errors while I'm going along. Okay, so my survival budget for December 2018 is $2,472.01. And I just wrote this down just in case I wanted to check to see if it was going to be a new number, but $2,472.01. So I'm going to look to see if you guys have any questions about this, and then we'll move on to the next budget. Yeah, I was able to get him blocked, you guys. I apologize. While I was doing the numbers, I couldn't see, but he's definitely blocked. I think that you guys have blocking access also, but yeah, I have no trouble sending people to my block ministry where they will learn how to be respectful and honor the time that other people are putting in and the work that I'm doing. So yeah. So I'm just looking over your questions now, but you can look at my budget to, you can look, and so somebody said you don't have credit card bills. We're not at that part of the budget yet. This is just my survival budget, AKA my 4 walls. Yes, there is a block ministry. There is. Yes, I'm using the quick start budget. That's the first budget. And a lot of people want to skip this budget because they're just like, oh, the cash flow plan is just a repeat of this budget. But this budget is helpful because if you notice, I'm spending on my needs for the month of December 2018, $2,472.01. My overall income for December is $6,000. So I still have quite a bit of money to spend and tell where to go. And we do that in our cash flow plan. But if you don't do this, you don't know what at the bare minimum that you need to bring in order to feel secure. The quick start budget is all about security, all about being very, very clear on what you need. That's why the boxes are very limited, because this is just a budget that shows you what you need. If you couldn't do anything else but what you need, this is it. Janie, you can find the budget forms that I'm using on any of my budget videos in the description box, or you can go to the last comment in the community section and it will be there as well. Are you paying, Rosalind, are you paying off items that have hit your credit? Anything that's in collection is a lower priority. So my priority is active debt and then collections. But yes, for me, it's just an integrity thing. I want to pay back my collections. They're just not my priority. Would there be a trash utility cost? Yes, like if I owned a home, some people have to pay for their trash to be removed. or even in an apartment complex, some people have to pay for their trash. Sabrina's second question on the budget, Christmas budget. Yeah, that'll be coming up, Sabrina Flowers. Andrea Harville, do you still consider yourself working part-time? Yes, I still work part-time. And part-time is defined by the hours. So I don't work more than 30 hours a week. So on average, as of late, I've been working about 21 hours. I may bump that up to 25. I'm thinking I really like the work that I'm doing. I always like the work that I'm doing, but I really like the work that I'm doing. And so I was doing some praying about it, and I may do 4 8-hour days. So I may bring my work hours up to 28 hours. But yeah, I work about 21 hours a week. Tiffany said, actually, people do receive allowance for their company. They don't have to work for travel, food, gas, etc. Commission is something a person works for. Yes, I agree. And so what I guess I should have finished that sentence, because what Tiffany said is accurate. I want to explain. I want to begin to use the language that supports him working and becoming a working man, as opposed to a child who receives an allowance or an executive or a salaried person who receives an allowance, because the allowance exchange is different than the commission exchange. It's not good or bad. It's just, I'm just trying to introduce new language, because it's like commission isn't something that I learned about until I was like a fully grown adult, and I don't want it to take that long for me to transfer some of the knowledge to my son. But you're absolutely right. Is there anything we could do as your followers to help you earn more money from YouTube? You guys are amazing. I think that there was somebody who said it best when she was just like, I watch every single video, or excuse me, I watch all the commercials on your video and I click on the link. That is the best thing that you can do, is when those ads show up, to watch the ads and click on the links. Even if you don't purchase, that does so much in terms of my Google earnings. So I appreciate that question. That's the best way to support that. Lauren P said, do you use the cash envelope system? I don't, but again, I believe that the only reason I don't use the cash envelope system is because I don't have enough extra categories where cash would be necessary for me to spend cash. So I only use cash on my grocery budget. Yay, caught this live. Good to see you, Malika. Patty, okay, yes, get to work and it will be here later. Thank you so much for the congratulations on my income. I am very excited about that. Variety said 50 is a big clothing budget. I think that it's a good clothing budget for winter clothing. I find that to get thicker, high quality thrifted materials that are not worn out for winter, it's important to have a little bit of extra there. CT Mom said clothing should be a sinking fund line item. Well, I disagree, only because it's literally listed right here as a actual item, but it's also a part of the 4 walls. Clothing doesn't have to be something that we save for to purchase. We can do it that way, but the philosophy that Dave Ramsey has is that clothing is actually a necessity. Like, one of the things that makes us uncomfortable throughout the months is when we don't have appropriate attire for our job, be it a uniform or, business professional clothes. We don't have the proper attire, so then we don't show up in a way that adds the maximum amount of value, and then our earning goes down. That's one of the ways that it taxes us. But the other way that it taxes us is that when we don't have appropriate clothes for the season, like when you're cold in the winter, you don't have to be cold in the winter if you get the proper boots and coat. But if you're cold in the winter, there's this survival thing that's happening that's preventing you from being able to earn more money. So that's why I think Dave Ramsey keeps clothing as an actual necessity. Now, that doesn't mean that you go out and you buy the latest and greatest. It just means that you do prioritize having the best quality clothes that you can afford in your budget for each season and for your work attire. Rosalind, yes, I have a PayPal. My PayPal is info@staceyflowers.com. Catherine, thank you so much. She said you're so inspirational. Jessica Stark said, I'm trying to budget 50, but I love fish and hate veggies. It's gonna be hard. No, let me not say that. I'm pretty sure it can be done. It's just about prioritizing. Okay, I think that is it. Do we have any questions about the quick start budget? If not, I'm going to move on to the next budget. Yeah, I buy my clothes. CT Mom, I buy my clothes at the thrift store as well. So I totally get that. But yeah, I mean that makes sense. You can do it that way, but I think that in his philosophy, one of the reasons he does it this way is he talks about something called what is it? Time fatigue that a lot of people experience. Well, I don't necessarily want to get into that, but yes, I agree. You can do it as a sinking fund. The reason I don't is because I follow the Dave Ramsey philosophy. So now we're going to go to the monthly cash flow. So the monthly cash flow is different than the quick start budget in that the monthly cash flow helps you to be able to give a detailed expression of where your money is going. And if you look over here, this is where you can actually outline your debts, and you're going to outline some personal things. So what I like to say is that the quick start budget is all about what it costs for your basic needs. For me, it's going to be $2,472.01. And the quick start budget is what is it going to cost for you to pay your wants and your debts. So now I'm going to get into that. And for me, it starts out with first copying over my needs and then filling in the details about my wants. So my tithe is 600. I'm gonna have to, oh, my screen is super frozen, which is unfortunate because I need to see this. Sorry guys. Okay. Nothing in the emergency fund. Rent is $845. 845. 25. 25. 25. 35. 82. And you guys will notice I'm using my cents. Cents are important. We don't want to round up or round down. We want to know what we're spending. So use accurate numbers. It's a really good money habit to master. All right, then groceries. I forget to do this every time. Always, always, always start with your income. That is one of the signatures of Dave Ramsey's program, is that you start with your income. Please always do that when you're starting your cash flow. Somebody said you forgot your life insurance. In the cash flow plan, they put the life insurance on a different page. So that's the only reason why it's there. It's not there. Felicia, I think I'm doing my budget wrong. I didn't see that it faded away, but I'm going to come back to your question. $50. And then 50. I'm just going to cross that out, right? Transportation. And then also you'll see here that medication, doctor's bill, dentist, optometrist, vitamins, all that, like, it's different than where my insurance box was. So I'm not going to put anything in that section. I'm going to go to the next form. I'm going to get my insurances in. Life insurance is $10.44. Health insurance is $150. Homeowners insurance is $575. Okay, 166.19. All right. Okay, so now we are coming down to my personal and my debt. And as far as I know, I did not I did not add any additional expenses from my quick start budget. So I'm just going to double check these numbers to make sure that they add up to my original, and then subtract to see how much I have left over to budget in the other areas. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take that 6,000 minus my needs. And I have $3,527.99. Now, with that $3,527.99, I need to figure out how I'm going to take care of the rest of my wants, because personal is just another way to say wants, my wants. And under my wants, under this other section, I would put my Christmas budget, right? I also need to figure out how much I'm going to put towards my debts. So I'm going to turn the camera around and talk to you guys for just a second, so we can talk through some of the things, some of the decisions that I've made. So I hope that you guys can see how I got to that number. So I did my quick start budget, and I know how much money I need to spend on my needs. My needs will be taken care of at $2,472.01. After my income left over, I will have $3,527.99. And I need to figure out how I'm going to divide that among my Christmas budget and other wants that I have and my debts. So, as I mentioned, my intention was to focus on my debts. So let's start first with me planning for how I'm going to pay on my debts, and then you guys can support me in some decisions that I need to make. So one of the things that I decided to do, because the city girl debt is breaking my heart every single month, is I decided to create a minimum monthly payment for that debt, because it doesn't have a minimum monthly payment. I literally can pay whatever I want to pay on that. So I want to create a minimum monthly payment. The other thing that I want to do is set a minimum monthly payment for my medical bills, which I did set that. But other interesting thing that happened with my medical bills. So back in May and June, when I went to the doctor, I went to the doctor in May, I went to the doctor in June. You know, all those medical bills that I was telling you guys about, that I got it reduced to $1,014 or something like that. That is accurate. That is true. I went in to set up a payment plan for that. And when I went in to set up a payment plan for that, they found out that I had more medical bills. And that is because the insurance program that I was on originally, when the first set of medical bills got sent in May, it was immediately I received bills for that, right? Because they didn't pay for those medical bills. When the medical bills went in for June, they thought it was just a duplicate of what happened in May. So they didn't send me a bill for the June medical expenses because they thought it was just a duplicate. When they realized that I actually went to the doctor both in May and June, they billed me for June, essentially revealing that this insurance covered nothing. So that breaks my heart, because now there's more medical bills, which I'm just like, that's dramatic. It doesn't break my heart. It just, in the moment when I was hearing about it, I was quite frustrated. So that is something new that is there, is that my medical debt has increased because the way the insurance process of mailing in, or the doctor's office submitting and the insurance denying, whatever, it took them 1,000 years to figure out that I indeed went to the doctor in both May and June. I incurred charges, and even though they said they would cover everything, because I called them and said, who can I go to? And they said, go here, this is in network, blah, blah, blah. In the end, they didn't cover everything. So my medical overall debt has increased. And that is something that I'll share with you guys. The number that it's increased, I'll share with you guys in my budget report card. But that's just something I want you to keep in mind as I'm sharing with you the minimum payment that I want to make on my medical debt a month. So I needed to set a new minimum for my medical debt. I wanted to set a minimum for City Girl, a minimum for my medical debt. And then, you know, obviously everything over that gets thrown onto your debt snowball. So the minimums, and I'm throwing this out here because I want you guys to help me to figure out if I'm being if I'm doing the most, or if this is just a healthy decision. So the minimum that I have decided to set for City Girl a month that I'll pay is $500 minimum a month. Then the minimum that I have decided to pay towards my medical debt is also $500 a month. This past month I paid $250, but I wanted to increase it to $500 a month. So my question to you is how many of you all think that it is a good idea for me to set the City Girl minimum payment at $500 a month? If you think that that's a good minimum monthly payment, then put a 1 in the comments and let me know. If you don't think it's a good minimum monthly payment, please give me an explanation as to why. The IRS debt is still there. Like, the IRS debt is the one that's going to get all of the leftover money. So, okay, let me explain that. So the reason why I'm trying to set minimum monthly payments is because the way the debt snowball works is that you pay the minimums on all of your debt, and then all the extra money that you have left over, you throw it at one debt, and it's the first debt in the snowball. So my IRS debt, it doesn't have I think the minimum is like $25 or something like that, but it's the priority debt. So all of my extra disposable income after I pay my minimums goes on my IRS debt. But the issue that I was kind of having last month is that I don't really have a minimum for any of my debts. And so it's like I could pay whatever I want to pay. And that was causing me to have too many choices. That was just making me not want to do anything and really pissing me off. So I want to set minimums for City Girl and my medical bill that's going to be around for a while, so that way I know how much after I pay those minimums will I be throwing onto my IRS debt. So yes, the IRS debt is still there. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of ones. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. City Girl debt is a previous business debt, where it's a previous business debt. It's a personal. It's a business debt that has a lot of personal pain to me in it. That I just want to get it taken care of. I don't support spending money on Christmas, tithing, charity until your debts are cleared up. Okay, thanks. My best life possible isn't doing the opposite of way to remain in debt. No, I don't think that tithing is a way of remaining in debt. And I think that that's something that's self-evident in, like, I think that that's just something that becomes self-evident when you watch the practice of tithing among people who tithe. Xavier, it takes like a year to get a hospital bill, thinking the whole time insurance covered it. Yeah, like that's essentially what I thought as well. Sandra, you should remove health insurance. It's usually a scam. Yeah, so that previous health insurance, I definitely got rid of that. I have new health insurance that's different than the health insurance that I had previous. So I'm feeling comfortable and confident with this health insurance plan that I have now, because there are no like things inside of this health insurance plan that sound too good to be true. Yeah, Phyllis Washington. Yeah, that medical bill, it's just just stressing me. I have $3,500 initial deductible, covers annual physical, well, women care, Yeah, these are things that are probably written in the fine print of the medical insurance, but when I spoke to the representative, the way that it was explained to me was not the way that I experienced it, which is the reason why I canceled it. I don't blame them. It was my responsibility. The whole time I kept saying, oh, this sounds too good to be true, but I didn't do the work of reading through the documentation to make sure I knew what I was signing up for. So Teresa, tithes are a personal decision that should not be questioned. 111, tried to spend 50 in grocery, couldn't do it. Try. It's okay. Try again. Great idea. Yes, I need the minimum. So I'm seeing most of you guys are saying yes to City Girl being a $500 minimum. Wayne said, but if you set a minimum and your income drops off, can you adjust it? That's the issue at hand, right? Like, the idea obviously is to not do anything to where my income drops, but since this is sort of just a minimum that I'm pulling out of thin air, obviously if my income were to drop, I wouldn't feel the burden that most people feel when they have a true minimum. I think I guess a better way to describe it is that, like, It's a minimum. It's a minimum that I'm setting so that I can, I mean, I'm very aware that I'm setting it, but I'm still going to honor my commitment to it. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys. As long as your income does increase, it's a good idea. If you can afford it, yeah. Support her spiritual growth despite your own personal decision. Okay, too much. I would say 200. Andrea, can you tell me why you feel like that's too much? I would love to. And I'm not being combative. I'm just really curious. Angelique said, I think 200 as well. If you pay 500, how soon would it be paid off? 8 months. Wendy Beach Mom said, I would say mentally yes, but don't make promises to pay in case of emergency. Oh yeah, so this would not be an external, like, well, the medical bill would. So right now the medical bill is set up at a $250 a month, but I was just gonna send the extra in at 500. But City Girl, I wouldn't like call her and be like, the minimum I'm gonna pay you is this. I'm not gonna make any other promises to this amazing human being that I'm not for sure that I can keep. So yeah, no, it would be an internal thing, not an external thing, if that makes sense. So overall, you guys are saying yes to the $500 minimum, make $250 minimum for the, and see that, and that's the other thing. I guess I also wanted you guys to help me think through whether or not I'm setting an aggressive minimum because I'm trying to secretly deprioritize the IRS. Is that what I'm doing? I don't know. Is that what's happening? I don't know. I feel like, is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? So Angelique, the snowball is usually smallest to largest. However, when you have IRS debt, the IRS debt, no matter the amount, goes to the top. Is increase in income going to be more stable moving forward? If by stable, I don't know what you mean by stable, but what I'll say is I anticipate that my income will keep going up. What I'm aiming towards is 10K months. So I anticipate that my income is going to keep going up, not that it's going to go down. I think you shouldn't pay so much. Plus, I'm not sure what City Girl debt is and not sure how fast you can pay it off. 8 months if I pay $500 minimum. City Girl is a old business debt, right? So 250 seems like a good place to start. Okay, since you're following Dave Ramsey, I wouldn't create a $500 minimum for City Girl. I think you should shoot for 100. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Alex rate, yes. I'm very familiar with paying off the highest interest rate. But as a student of Dave Ramsey, I'm going to follow his program. Bump City to 900 or 1,000. Not to be a stickler, I absolutely love all your content and intentions. Do you feel like assigning minimum payments to debts that don't technically have one is re-engineering the plan? No, I feel like it would help me to follow the plan because it's like, I mean, I have to pay the debt, but I don't, because there's not a set amount, my emotions make me want to be like, well, I'm just going to send $1,000 to City Girl. But I think that cuts into me actually really throwing a lump sum at the IRS. Does that make sense? I feel like the minimum payment would reinforce the philosophy more, and take it away from it being managed by my emotion. Yeah, have I tried to get the medical bill reduced by making a lump payment? Yes, I have. Originally, the medical bill, before I found out about the new medical bill, I want to say it was $1,300. I got it down to $900 if I paid a lump sum. But then when I found out that I was supposed to prioritize the IRS bill, I switched it to a payment plan and that took it to $1,014. So I think it was like I got it down to $953 in a lump sum, and with a payment plan, it's $1,014. And then that bumped the IRS back up to being the priorities. The IRS can ruin your life so many ways to get rid of the IRS first, then do minimums. You guys, if she chooses to pay it, okay. Okay, so New Beginning says if you're using Dave Ramsey plan, you get the higher bills paid off quicker, so less on the medical and city, so you can get the IRS paid off quicker. Okay, so, okay, all right. I hear you on that. I'm definitely still gonna pay the IRS first. I need you guys to help me come up with a minimum monthly payment for. So okay, how about this? I will leave my medical debt minimum monthly payment at $250. That's what I set up with them. So how do you, if leaving my medical debt at a minimum $250 a month is something that you guys agree with, press 1. Okay, Mahita said you're still working off emotions. What's the minimum? That's the thing. There is no minimum on City Girl. So you guys are saying $250 for City Girl, $250 for. Okay, all right. So 1 for the medical bill. Would you guys say that I should do $250 minimum payment for City Girl? And if you think it should be $250 minimum payment for City Girl, press 1. Or press 2 if you, because I need to see the difference between what you guys were saying for the IRS and what you guys are saying for City Girl. So if you think City Girl should be a minimum payment of $250, press 2. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you think the minimum payment for City Girl should be $500, press 0. Y'all out here hurting all of the pieces of my feelings. Not a single 0. Okay, there's a 0. There's a 0. There's a 0. There's a 0. Okay, so 2 definitely won out. I'm going to trust your judgment on this, and I'm going to set my City Girl minimum payment at $250 and my medical bill minimum payment at $250. So I'm just going to write that in. And my medical bill at $250. So that's one thing I wanted to talk through with you guys. Thank you very much for your help. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna minus 500. So I still have $3,027.99 left over to spend on my wants and my IRS bill. So what is my remaining balance? I should have wrote that down. Give me just a second. I'm gonna figure out what let's see if the background, is my background messy? No, okay. I'm gonna figure out what the remaining balance on my IRS is just real quick. 1 second. Oh, sorry guys. Just 1 second. Oh no, what happened? Please don't be weird. Phone, oh gosh. Okay, there you guys go. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. I should have looked this up beforehand. I'm sorry. Hold on. I feel like there's a faster way to find this. Did I write it down somewhere? All of my online. Okay, I have to pop into, see, I don't know if this is gonna close out of this. Okay, dang it. Okay, I don't have my exact IRS debt, the exact number. I wanna say it was 6,900 and something. Just bear with me, because the reason I'm trying to figure that out is because, so 6,900 and something, and then this month I put, what did I put, I want to say, what did I put, 18. I don't have my Every Dollar app in front of me, so I don't want to lie. Okay, I want to say I put about 13, so 6,900 minus 13. Okay, so I probably have about 5,600 left on my IRS debt. I just wanted to give you guys that information because I have $3,227.99 left to figure out what I'm going to put on the IRS debt. So JC said then 3,000 needs to go. So the issue is that I do actually have wants. I am traveling home to visit with my son for Christmas. And I'm still going to only purchase my son Christmas gifts, which I think that I don't anticipate that being very, very much. And then, but to travel home, to do my travel home things, I'm just trying to figure out how to divide that 3,027 up. So I was thinking, somewhere along the lines of 2,225 and 750, like 750 to go home with. And then somebody said 1,500 to IRS. What would I do with the other 1,500? So the costs for me going home are me having a place to stay, the ticket, and all of that other jazz. So I probably can get like most of that. Yeah, I have Sonia Carter. Yes, I have a son. He's 16. So I was thinking somewhere around 2,000 minimum to the IRS, but more like 2,250 towards the IRS, 750 towards Christmas. I don't think that I'm going to splurge that much on Christmas for my son. When I was there this time, I saw a couple of the things that he wants, and they're not very expensive. I don't think that that's going to be majority of the cost. So 600, oh, I don't know why I'm trying to follow you guys over there when it just fades away so fast. 650 to go home with is reasonable. You deserve a nice holiday. Thank you. I had, and I'm just being honest, I did have a nice holiday. I did just come back from Thanksgiving, and I'm not saying that that's not enough. Purple Rose says, Stacey, the snowball is the smallest debt first. That is accurate, with the exception of when you have IRS debt. I thought that as well, which is the reason why last month's video was set up that way. But when you have IRS debt, it's actually the IRS debt becomes the priority. So 1,300 should go to the IRS. I'm definitely going to pay more than 1,300 to the IRS. With, let me see, how much did I say I had left over? 600, excuse me, 6,000 minus 2,472.01 minus 500. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pay more than 1,300. For me, the minimum that I'm putting on the IRS is 2,000. I'm just asking you guys, should I put more than 2,000? Minimum I'm putting on IRS is 2,000. That's just, I'm not going to go home and spend more than $1,000. That's just not going to happen. Yeah, overall about 5,600 is still due. Yep, you're welcome, Purple Rose. So questions. So the question that I'm going to ask to get you guys' buy-in, should I put, if you think we're going to do 3 options. So before you answer, let me say out all the options. So should I do 2,000 IRS and 1,000 Christmas? Should I do 2,250 IRS, 750 home? Should I do 2,500 IRS and 500 home? So I'm gonna give you the numbers for those. So if you think I should do 2,000 on the IRS and 1,000 to go home, press 3. If you think I should do 2,250 on the IRS and 750 to go home, press 2. And if you think I should do 2,500 on the IRS and 500 to go home, press 1. Okay, you guys are really pressing these numbers very fast. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, wait, home include Christmas. Yes, home includes Christmas gifts for my son and me figuring out how to make that work within that budget. Home includes all the things, like travel costs, the food that I would spend at home, all that. Okay, I'm seeing mostly 2s and 3s. So definitely, okay, mostly 2s and 3s. So no one thinks that I should only spend $500 at home. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, there's a couple. There is a 1. There is a 1. For those of you, 1 is the least frequent number. For those of you who say 1, can you help me? Can you give me some explanation? Not because I need you to convince me, but just I need to expand my mind to be able to appreciate your perspective. So I'm not being combative. I'm really being curious. So if you could explain your 1, because 500 just seems super conservative to go home with, but I would love to know your perspective on that. If you care to share 1, it's a bit low, plus whatever you have remaining can throw at the IRS debt. The way I see it, the sooner you pay off the debt, the better. Yeah. You can cook with your relatives. Relatives usually want to take you out and spend money. One is not enough money. One, you will be happy with a... Oh, come on. I don't know why my computer is suddenly deciding that it doesn't want to let me be great. One, because what's the main goal? How much is City Girl? I believe like City Girl is about 4,000 or 5,000 left. 4,000. I think I'm under the 4,000 mark. Where's home? Is it out of state? Yes, home is out of state. I guess I should say that. Home is out of state. One, because you are on the road with generating income and paying off debt. Your family is aware of your need to pay off debt. We're being aggressive, intensive, gazelle intense. Yeah, love and time is important. I think 750 could, you can already said 1,000 won't go. You can go with 1,000, and whatever you don't spend, you can put on your debt when you come back. 500 is low depending on some areas. I don't think it's reasonable. Start 2019 IRS debt free. I wouldn't be IRS debt free. The purpose of Christmas, because Christmas will come and go as a moment. However, the why is important. The why is really just to spend more time with my son. This would be actually the second time that I'm seeing him this year. And I don't think I shared that with you all before, that I hadn't seen him this year, outside of last week when I was there. I mean, we talk every day and FaceTime and stuff, but I think that was one of the things that really like hit me when I saw him over just this last week, was just, we connect all the time, but it's, you know, and I mean, I have my moments where I'm like, it sucks, but it just really, really hit me. That's what I'm saying. Plan for more and spend less. 750 is a cushion. This lady eats on 50 a month. I don't think she'll spend 750. Laugh out loud. Oh man, you saw him in March. Did I go home in March? Did I go home in March? Oh no, I saw him in June when he came up for my birthday. Did I go home for March? I don't remember going home for March. I saw him in June. Thank you for that. I apologize. I misspoke. I saw him in June when he came up for my visit, or when he came up for my birthday in June. You are right. So this would be the third time that I'm seeing him. Spend time, not money. 3 would be the best solution. It gives you a little money to do things with your son. 3, look at you knowing your business. Laugh out loud. Can you make a mini budget for the trip? Will that help? Oh yeah, definitely. We would definitely have to make a mini budget for the trip. Can I always add more debt when you get back and go with a low amount? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How you're going to tell her when she saw her son last? Shake my head. No. I don't think that they were trying to be mean. I think that it wasn't top of mind. And I think that it's not top of mind because when you don't see your son often, 5 days feels like forever. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen him all year, but I definitely forgot that he definitely surprised me for my birthday and came up. No minimum payments for anyone. Do the Dave Ramsey snowball. You're deviating. I don't understand how I'm deviating. I don't understand that. Can you explain that a little bit? I think 2, but since you're on gazelle mode, 3. Can we just take a moment and wrap? Oh, dang it. I'm so upset that these are going so fast. 500 back home and we're not doing gifts. Yeah, in debt for your daughter because she needed a car. She got a 222. I know that's right, mini budget. Not seeing a child messes with your mind. I know personally, yeah. Yeah, if you don't choose 500, then don't exceed 750 at home. 750 feels like the comfortable. There are minimum payments for Dave Ramsey's plan. Yes, there are. There are minimum payments. It just happens to be that the type of debt that I have doesn't come with a legal minimum payment, if that makes sense. So that's the reason why I'm trying to set one. Family first, safe amount, 750. Okay, I like being somewhere in the middle and attempting to remain conservative. So I like 750 over 500 and 1,000. So I'm gonna go with 750, but I will, if I don't spend it all, obviously I will put the rest on my debt. So we're gonna go with that. So that means I will be putting IRS 2,250 toward my IRS bill. I don't have the cost for what it costs to go home for Thanksgiving because that wasn't something that I had to pay for. If you put $7.50, you can get some meat on the menu. I don't think it's necessarily food that I'm mostly worried about. I think it's the trip there and accommodations when I'm there. And just, you know, I think that that's more so what it is. I don't think it's the food because it'll be Christmas. Everybody has food in their house at Christmas. And when I say my whole family's there, like everyone is there. So I'm going to go with $7.50 with the eye to be a little bit more conservative. And I'm also going to do a separate budget to document that, to document, to plan for how I would spend the $7.50 in. And maybe when I start writing it down, I won't need $7.50 to do it. Yes, Sienna said you could really benefit from doing a mini budget first, then tell you the ratio. Yeah, I agree. And maybe that's something I just should have thought of. That's just something I should have thought of before asking the question. So I do apologize for that. But I will do a mini budget. Not right now because I don't want to, you know, drive y'all crazy. Okay, but so $2,250 is what we're going to do for the IRS. And then for Christmas, we're going to do $7.50. All right, so if you do the math on that, I think I still have $27.99. I'm gonna double check here though. Let me add up these numbers. I don't know, man. $7.50 seems like a lot, but yes. So I have $27.99 left over. And I didn't give myself pocket money this month. I'm just gonna take that out of my Christmas budget. I mean, I could do the $27.99 as pocket money, but I think I'm just gonna put that towards the IRS debt, that $27.99, a $27.99 party. Use the leftover as snack meal prep for travel home. True. Yeah, I don't have anything else that I need. I guess I could put it, leave the $2.50 in your pocket money when you return. True. You know, I'll put the $27.99 towards home stuff. Because if I'm being honest, that comes up, that came up last month and I wasn't really prepared for it. Not that I will spend it in that area, but I can maybe start a little home sinking fund. Yeah, I won't be flying. I'll definitely be taking the megabus. I'm hoping that I can find a round trip ticket for $5. So after we get off the call, I'm going to start looking up tickets. It's pretty inexpensive to get to Omaha when I plan ahead. So that's what this is about. But I needed to, oh, that would be awesome to do a little mini trip budget. Yeah, that would be so fun. Would you guys want me to do that live or would you want me to record it and then talk through it? I'm going to do this at home, huh? Would you guys want me to do that live or talk through it? All right, live, record, live. How much did you decide to spend on, excuse me, clothing each month? I don't have a clothing budget each month. In the fall, I think I actually spent money each month in the fall just because I didn't have anything for fall, but about 50. Okay. Okay, it said, you said I don't want to read that comment. Your culture, something. Your culture is showing off what they have rather than reality. Oh, so much of YouTube culture. Yeah. Yeah, I won't do the Greyhound bus, but I'll do the mega bus. Yep. Yeah, when you get there, when you find it early, you can definitely get it. It may be, it depends on obviously the days that I go, but I'm hoping to be able to find that. Okay, Wayne. There's something that Wayne is saying or doing that I keep missing. So now I'm just looking at you guys' questions and comments. So, oh, let me wrap up the budget stuff. So let me show you guys what I have here. Okay, so with the help of the most amazing community in all the land, I have figured out my budget. So my income is going to be, I take the Bangle Bus all the time. Like, but I appreciate that, Deborah. So my income is $6,000 for the month of December. I have my tithes, my child support commission, and iTunes, my rent, my utilities, my food budget, my clothing budget, my transportation budget, and no additional expenses there. Then I have my insurances that come up to $166.19, and then my wants for the month of December are coming up to $777.99, and then my debt that I will pay in the month of December will be $2,750. So that is what my December 2018 budget looks like. Now, the final form is the allocated spending. The allocated spending is the budget that you use to tell your money when to go to each different thing that you plan on paying. Because I pay myself once a month, I don't have to use the allocated spending, because if you notice up here, it expresses pay period and pay date and the income that you receive, and then you just tell your paycheck which of the expenses it's going to pay. I pay myself once a month, and so it'll be fairly it wouldn't be useful for me to use this budget to outline what I'm going to pay once a month. However, I highly encourage anybody who gets paid multiple times a month to use this form. This form is an additional checks and balance, and I have 7 months of videos where I use this form that will be incredibly helpful to you if you need it. So that would be the completion to your budget. The allocated spending form is the number one form that people don't want to use, but this is the form that actually gets you in better shape about budgeting. This form helps you to see what you're really spending your money on, where your money is going. This form helps you to see what it costs to cover your needs. And then the allocated spending form helps you to see when you are sending your money out. And that is important to know, that the first paycheck that you get in the month, these are the bills you're going to pay. The second paycheck, these are the bills that you're going to pay. This form is the form that stretched me the most and actually mastering and learning how to do a proper budget. So I highly, highly encourage you to complete the allocated spending. And it's unfortunate that it's not a part of my process anymore, because I would love to be able to be on the line and walk you all through it. But I hope that the 7 months that I did do it is a resource that you guys will go back to and use to support you in completing the allocated spending, because it is the form that helps you to become somebody who knows how to budget. But you have to do the other two in order to make sure you get to it. So now I'm just going to review and go through and answer any of the questions that you guys may have. Where can I get the forms? You can get the forms if you go to the community tab. It is the last status update that I put. There is a link in the community tab, and you can grab it from there. Do you still have budget coaching available for December? Yes. If you are interested in me personally coaching you through your budget privately, just email me at info@staceyflowers.com. When you sign up for that budget coaching, you will get accountability, organization, and inspiration to complete a real budget. I do have one of my coaching clients in here, Christina. She jumped online, and it's amazing to see that she's here online, even though we have our call tomorrow, because it's just, that's how much she's enjoying the budget coaching. So yes, that is available. Just email me at info@staceyflowers.com. Oh, and the investment for budget coaching is $25. Wayne, what I said earlier was, can we take a moment to wrap our heads around the fact that your mini budget is almost the same as your income from a year ago? Yes, Wayne. Oh man. I missed it. Oh my gosh, you are right. Let's man, this is why you need people in your life to remind you, because even though I'm aware, it wasn't top of mind. Like, that's my mini budget. Like, that's crazy. Oh man, that is crazy. Yes, let us pause for the fact that me being like, oh yeah, I'll do a mini budget with you guys was my whole entire life budget. Less than what, 10, 11 months ago, less than 12 months ago. Yes, Wayne, yes. Which is why 500 is doable. Thank you, JC. That, you have just convinced me. Okay, I'm gonna do a mini budget and I'm gonna see if I can, cause you're right. Oh, this is why, okay. I gotta calm down. This is why I say that, like, the only metric people, okay, so a lot of people gave me grief when I first started doing the budget because my income was so low. They were like, you're never gonna pay off debt. You're not, you're not doing anything. You're not really budgeting. You're making all these mistakes. Like, a lot of people gave me grief about that, right? And they gave me grief because my income wasn't showing it wasn't reflecting my ability to meet my goal, right? It wasn't reflecting that. But I kept at it. And the reason why I kept at it is for this moment that we're having right here. The moment of being able for you all to remind me, and me being able to connect with the fact that once upon a time, I lived a whole entire life off of $800, right? If I can live my whole entire life off of $800, surely I can figure out this Christmas budget that will be within inside of a week. Because what happens is when our income grows, the expansion of our income, it's an unconscious thing, but we automatically think things cost more. But it's just like, when I didn't have more, I made it work, and I didn't make it work begrudgingly. I made it work with all types of joy down in my spirit and in my heart, which means that I know how to do that. So it's just like, it's wherever you are in your finances, it is worth you starting right now. It is worth you starting right now, because there's going to be a point where you have more, and you even when having less was just months ago, you will forget how resourceful you are. You will forget how capable you are. Like, that just reminded me that, like, surely you can do this. Like, it's not about how much money you're earning now. It's about what you can do with money, period. And you blew my mind, Wayne. You blew my mind. Thank you for reminding me. You are absolutely right. My mini budget is my whole entire budget. I can do this. Oh, Jesus. This is so great. I'm just so grateful for you guys. Like, and this is why, like, people are like, oh, why do you do this? How can you do this? I do this because when it's just in my mind, like, I'm a human. I'm a regular person just like everybody else. And you guys can see, I wasn't trying to be weird. I wasn't trying to, like, get over on myself and spend more money when I got home. You guys can see that I wasn't trying to be manipulative. I honestly, wholeheartedly were like, oh, let me examine this. What do you guys think I should do? And it didn't cross my mind that my mini budget today was my total budget before, and therefore I am resourceful enough and skilled enough to be able to make this budget work. Didn't cross my mind, which is why accountability is so important, because the blind spots that we have are not because we're mean or manipulative or foolish or we don't care. It is because we are humans and we don't see everything. We do not see everything. Oh, I forgot to add therapy. Thank you, Andrea. You are right. Actually, I think the reason why I forgot to add therapy is because thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to add it and subtract that from my Christmas budget. But I think the reason I didn't add it is because I'm waiting for my therapist to reach back out to me. She had a loss, and so I don't know if she's going to be available for the holidays. And I think in my mind I thought that and I didn't say that out loud, so I don't know if she's going to be available for the holidays, so I may not go to therapy in the month of December. But on the off chance that I do want to pull that into my budget. And if I do go to therapy, I will go. I know she won't be there at the beginning, so I'll plan to go once this month. So let me pull that in. That's 70, and then I'm going to take that from my go home budget, 70, 50. So that's 680. So 680 is my go home budget. Thank you so much for reminding me of that. But yeah, I don't know. I just got super excited about that. Just remembering that and the value of accountability and how important accountability is. Like, we're not mismanaging our money because we are horrible people. We mismanage money because it becomes emotional, and as soon as it becomes emotional, we become unconscious. And when we become unconscious, it's hard for us to recall truth. It's hard for us to recall accomplishments. It's hard for us to recall the things that support us in moving forward. And then to the other point that I wanted to make, as far as like people giving me grief about like, you're not making progress, you're not going to be able to do that. Obviously my income is evident that I'm going to be able to do the things that I said that I was going to do. But for those of you guys who thought it wasn't valuable for me to practice doing a budget, yeah, now my Christmas budget is $680. For those of you all who thought it was invaluable for me to practice doing a budget when my income was low, I need you to appreciate that the only reason I'm able to get through a budget now with less emotion, because there's still emotion, but with less emotion, is because I practiced the habit of budgeting when my income was low. When my income did not look like it was going to meet the needs or the expectations of my goals, I practiced the habit of doing the thing that is going to help me achieve my goal. And most people don't want to do that. Most people wait until they have every single thing that they need to achieve the goal, but that's not how we reach our goals. That's not how we do audacious things in our life. You have to start now where you are, practicing the habits that you are going to need to be able to achieve that, because $6,000 is a lot of money to be managing in 1 month relative to where I was. And could you imagine if this was the first budget that I was sharing with you all and I was like, yeah guys, I'm confused about this and I'm confused about this, you guys wouldn't be able to respond to me with compassion. I mean, some of you would because you're just compassionate people, but it's highly unlikely that you guys would be able to appreciate emotionally what I'm thinking through and dealing with and all that other stuff, because all we would be looking at is measuring where I'm at by the income that I have. But because you guys are looking from the whole entire, perspective, you're like, oh, she really means it when she's asking for my help. Let me give her my responses. Let me give her my answers. And it's just like, start where you are. Start before you are ready, because starting before you're ready, starting before you have everything, is the thing that positions you to be able to manage the having of everything. Because I wouldn't have been able to manage this $6,000. I would have taken this $6,000 and probably spent $3,000 on Christmas without blinking an eye, without hesitating. Not because I'm trying to be a mean, evil person who doesn't want to get out of debt, but just because I would have been unconscious about it. And I would have been like, I had such a great time with my son, I want to go back. I just would have been unconscious. But my habit now is I have a habit of doing a budget. It's going to happen no matter if I want to or I don't want to. Most people would look at their income and be like, oh, I don't really need to budget. Let me just put this over here. I'm earning enough now that I don't need to budget. But for me, I'm like, I'm earning more now, all the more reason for me to budget. And so I say all that to say, if you are thinking about starting a budget and you're like, oh, I don't know if I have enough money, I don't know, I don't want to look at it, you don't have to do everything today. Just start the budget. I mean, start the budget, because one day your mini budget can be the total of your main budget. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one day your main budget will be your mini budget. Can you guys imagine when I'm like, yeah, I want to go home and I guess I have $6,000 to spend, should do a mini budget. What? Like, like, it's amazing. Like, just start. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. I'm going to answer you guys' question. Thank you so much, Wayne. I deeply appreciate you continuing to repost that until I saw it, because I missed it. And I needed to see it, because you are right. This is a whole entire budget. It is, Amazing. Thank you. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Like, and it's perspective, right? Like, immediately shifted my perspective. Immediately, like, we need that. We need that. Whew, we need that. I'm just so excited. Okay, I'm looking for you guys' questions now. Looking for your questions now. Okay. So a couple of you guys are saying yes to tithing, yes to tithing. Yeah. People get tithing and giving very, very confused. It is a paradox. I will say that. But so much of giving and tithing is wrapped up in money mindset, and a lot of people don't get that part of it. It is definitely a personal choice for me as well, but I will say that, as I mentioned earlier, tithing, it's evident, the point and purpose of tithing, in my opinion. So yeah. Oh man, just got so excited. Malika, man, I love you and your enthusiasm so much. Yeah, he just made me so excited. The mini budget was High Park produce. Yeah, like good googly moogly. Won't he do it? Yes. I'm crying. This is so awesome. Yeah, like my whole entire, like, you guys don't even understand. Wealthy cam girl, I got low income. Yeah, and low income turns into comfortable income, turns into more income, growth, tithe, budget every penny, every single penny. You're gonna make me cry. He's gonna make me cry. These journal pages that I'm gonna write tonight are gonna be filled with tears. Like, that just, your mini budget was your whole entire budget. Like, mind blown. Exactly. Next year you'll be making 3 times as much, 18,000 income, and I'll be like, yeah, the 6,000 is my mini budget. Planting those seeds, moments of reflection. Yep. Yeah, when I see GL 2330, I'll definitely block them. Tears of joy, your excitement made me teary. Exactly. They sure did try to drag you, and now your leftover funds are the same as people's salary. Get it? A couple of people. I think people, people just don't. We don't have a lot of patience for process, and that's why a lot of people fail in general. Not just patience to watch other people's processes, but patience to go through process ourselves. And I would say that's one of the #1 reasons for failure in life, is because people don't have enough patience for process. And so when they were trying to drag me, yeah. Let's talk Christmas gift, lavender life. Yes. So in the mini budget, well, I think my son watches these videos, so I won't be able to talk about the specific gift because I believe he watches these videos. So I don't know how we're going to talk about them. But did you want to talk to me about your gifts? Is that what you mean? Yeah, you learn to live on less as your salary grows. Preach to the people. Girl, you better have a message. Get up and dance in that kitchen. Y'all saw me. I was almost out of my seat because he just changed my whole life. This one was going to end up in a test. This moment, it probably, I agree. It's going to end up in a TED Talk because it's powerful. Like, so powerful. Yeah, thank you so much for reminding me about therapy. I definitely forgot to mention that to you guys, is that my therapist requested time off because she has experienced a loss, and so I don't know when I'll be back in, but I did put it in for 1 this month, just in case she does come back on, to do 1. Okay, so any other questions? So the current Christmas budget is $680 now because I just took $70 out for therapy. Kara said, but we all can do it. Yes, everyone can do it. Yes, write this moment down for your TED Talk. I will. It has to be in there. Like, it has to be in there. Shout out to Wayne. And it's amazing that you emailed me earlier today too. Like, I just, look at God showing up and showing out. I hate wealthy cam girl. I hate to budget my victims' compensation, but I know it will help them in the healing that they can get therapy. Yes. Remember, you wanted to reach a goal of 10,000. Yeah, remember when I tried to do it before, my brain turned to mush. But now I'm 4,000 away from that goal. Like, it's just amazing. That's process, right? You gotta take the baby steps. You have to follow the process. You have to follow the process. Ooh, so according to your TED Talk, which finger is us in your tribe? I would say that you guys are my peers. Like, we're all on this journey together trying to repay our debt. Like, I get to come to you guys and complain. I get to come to you guys and express my fears. And all of you can relate to that because you guys are in the process of facing all that too. Whereas if I were to take like this $6,000 budget and maybe call a friend or call, especially if I talk to my coach, she's gonna be like, I don't want to hear none of this. You know, to talk to any one of them, they wouldn't have the response that would support me to get through the moment of actually dissecting this. But we're peers because we are all working on the same thing. We are all in the trenches together, trying to overcome this. That's why you guys are showing up. And we may evolve to the point where I'm like the friend on your path, right? But even the friend on your path, or the cheerleader on your path, or the mentor, we could even evolve to the mentor or the coach on your path. But you guys, for me, are 100% the peer for this particular area of life. 100%. 100%. Belinda, you're so inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Always EJD, some real truth, not just about finances, is about life goals. Indeed. Yeah, it's the emotions that get us all the time. It is. It's 100% emotion. That's why you need accountability. People think you need accountability because like you're weak or you can't handle it or you don't know. Like, no, you need accountability because you're human and emotions are real and emotions will like flip you upside down. Flip you upside down. Angelique said, please, personal note, why don't your son live with you? It's a personal choice. Me and my son's father made this choice when he was still inside my stomach. I knew that I personally believe that every child deserves two healthy parents, and in marriage. And when we were dating and we had a conversation about whether or not we would get married, I was like, okay, if we don't get married, my child deserves two whole entire parents. And then when I found out I was having a boy, I did a lot of research on the experience of raising young men and, you know, all the different things, and a lot of the research out there on African American young men. And one of the greatest factors on positive impact on their life is them having a father in their life. So when we got to the point in our relationship where we knew we weren't going to be together, we agreed that my son would live with his father full time at some point in his life. And so we just pre-decided that decision once we realized that we weren't going to be together in marriage. And we've been living out that decision ever since. And so for me personally, I think that to provide my son, for me, I've always parented my son from the perspective of the type of man that I wanted him to be when he got older, not the type of from the type of man that I wanted him to be when he got older. And I believe that it's easier for a man and healthier for a man to raise a boy from the inside out than it is for a woman to attempt to raise a man from the outside in. I understand that there are many circumstances where women have to do that out of necessity, and they do an amazing job, but I wasn't in that particular situation. And so if I couldn't give my son the ideal, which was to have two healthy parents in a marriage, I was going to give him the next best thing, which was to be raised from the outside in. And so I made that sacrifice as a mother for him to live with his father full time. And we've just, you know, worked through it and lived through it. And when I look at my son, sometimes it's hard because if you guys read any of my blogs, I always talk about how I want to be a stay-at-home mom. It was a difficult choice because I'd rather be the primary parent. But I realized with my son, you know, I was a mother before I was a woman. And so my choices were harder, and I did not want my son to be burdened because I wasn't willing to make hard choices. So hope that answers your question. But it boils down to it's a personal choice. Just start. Yes, just start. If you are a good steward of little, God will trust you with much. Amen. Yes, start small. Start small. Yes, I love that you asked for help because we need help. Oh no, I went too fast. Yeah. Stacey, can you make a Facebook page where we can all share our budgets and ask each other questions? I'm trying to figure out some sort of way to create a community space where you guys can share how much debt you've paid off, and you know, we can count it collectively together. So yeah, I'm thinking through something. I want to have something together by January for you guys. Popping in to say hello. Hi, Robin. Yes. Well, I won't do my budget report card live. Is that something that you guys want to be live? If I do it live, I won't be able to do the every dollar screen because it doesn't, yeah, I won't be able to do the every dollar screen if I do it live. Angelique said, thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Diva Miami, I'm 10 years out of retirement. City Girl is just a business debt that I have. That's just the name of the company. Nicole Faith, why do you live in another city from your son? Because my hometown is a very triggering city for me mentally. So I am not the best version of myself when I'm in my hometown. I'm much sicker there. So I just made the choice to be where I'm mentally and emotionally supported. Yeah, it can be a closed Facebook page. Yeah, I'm thinking through something. Eva, I'm glad I'm a therapist with a therapist and you are really helpful. Yeah. City Girl goes digital. No affiliations. No, that's not. Is this the City Girl? No, that's not the City Girl. Robin, get a website. I do have a website. It's www.staceyflowers.com. That's such an amazing response concerning your son. That's a testimony in itself. I was a mother before I was a woman. Lost me there, but okay, that's a conversation for another time. It just means that I went from childhood to motherhood. I got pregnant at 17 and I had him by 18. So I hadn't yet, in my opinion, fully matured into becoming a woman. Like, I don't count womanhood as getting my period. I think that it's a process of stepping into maturity and adulthood and just different things like that. So I feel like I was a mother before I was like a grown woman, if you will. So that's all that means. Oh, you were asking for someone else's blog. Okay. Oh, the new bed is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Facebook either. That's why I said I'm still working on something, but I'm going to figure out some kind of way to create a community for us where we can celebrate your wins alongside my wins, because I just think that that's important. I was a mother before I had my child early. Yeah. Yes, all is going very well. Trigger Town, totally understand and can relate. Thank you for sharing this. I've been a non-custodial mother for 5 years. And it's been so hard, but you're the first person to share this take on it. Yeah, it's a very, very hard thing. And, you know, mommying is hard work. And I realized early on that there's more than one way to sacrifice as a mom. And it seems that mommying sacrifice is an essential element of it. But there's more than one way to sacrifice. I'm raising 2 boys to be men the world needs, so I agree with your philosophy. Thanks, Joey, Joe. She was a teen mom, hence she was a mother before she was a woman. Yeah. Can you let us see your spending plan now since reallocating your spending just now? Yeah, absolutely. Let me turn it around. So here is the first part, and I don't know if you guys can see over there. So I put the 70 and then the 680 here. Oh, but I think I may, no, the math should still be the same. One challenge I have with the idea of paying off debt aggressively is not saving. Yeah, most savers do. Most savers do, and you would think that spenders would have a hard time with Dave Ramsey's program. I think in general, all people do, because it's a radical debt elimination program. But most savers do, because $1,000 baby emergency fund is not a lot of money. So yeah, but Dave Ramsey's philosophy around that is that the average emergency costs $1,000 and the average credit card line is $1,000. And so if you can cover $1,000 emergency, then you will be fine. So I was a young mom. That's okay. Yeah, I feel that way about my hometown now. I can't wait for a job op. Yep. I'm new to your channel, but enjoy every bit. Thanks. I love your apartment. Thank you. I love it too. It's really like, it always felt like home from day one when I came in, because there was space for everything that I wanted to do. But the more pieces that I get, the more and more it's feeling like home. I was a teen mother of 2, got 3 degrees, got sick as well. Mental illness is serious, and you're always in recovery. It's very serious. How much do you pay for rent? $845. My daughter is your age, Stacey. Okay. You inspired me to get an apron. Yay! Aprons will change your life. All right. So it doesn't look like we have any. Oh, wait. Another note, my mom was a non-custodial parent. We have a great relationship, close, and I appreciate the challenge and sacrifice she made. You got a microwave. A subscriber sent me a microwave, actually. So yes, I got a microwave. Thank you for your perspective as a single adult woman. We're out here. It's tough on a single income for sure. Oh, yeah. Was Dave Ramsey's program the first you used to pay off debt? No, the first program I used to pay off debt was Susie Orman, and that was like when I was like 18 or 19, because I only charged up a bunch of credit cards actually when me and my son's father broke up, and I was like, whatever, I don't need you. I'm gonna get 13 credit cards and max them out at Victoria's Secret and like Old Navy and Kid Toys R Us. It's very silly. So I had 13 credit cards, and Susie Orman was the one who taught me the philosophy, the difference between good debt and bad debt. And that just worked, and I paid off all my debt from the highest interest rate to the lowest. But I'm more of a student of Dave Ramsey's philosophy than hers now, just how I've matured and come to understand myself and the relationship I want to have with money. Cause should have got some popcorn before we got started. Yeah. Your income grows and grows. I feel like I'm stuck always making the same amount. I have a video coming up about growing income. So I hope to help you get unstuck with that. More cooking vlogs are coming. I've read both of those books. I like The Millionaire Next Door because it gives you a different perspective on being a millionaire. A lot of our money mindset, we think millionaires do things that they don't actually do. So that's really helpful. I like The Richest Man in Babylon. I just thought overall it was just a really good text to help you shift your paradigm. I need your advice. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get out of credit card debt. I currently have 3 credit cards and I'm almost done paying off 2. Do you think I should close those 2 credit cards after? I think you should find a budgeting philosophy first before you make any drastic changes. If you are a student of Dave Ramsey, closing them is fine, because when you're a student of Dave Ramsey and you're committed, you don't care about your credit score. But if you're going to care about your credit score in the future, you should not close them. But in order for you to make that determination informed, you have to find a budgeting philosophy. You don't have to, but I encourage you to find a budgeting philosophy. Thank you. I really like this turtleneck too. Thank you for subscribing right away. What do you journal in? I journal in the Moleskine journals. I hate microwaves. I don't use microwaves often, but I appreciate the gift. What books do you recommend, if any? It just depends on the category of books, but I do have a couple of blogs going up where I have like a book recommendation for starting a business, a book recommendation for growing a business, book recommendation for getting your life together, book recommendation for parenting. So those blogs are coming. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Yeah, the E-Myth is the #1. If you're trying to start a business, or you are in a point of your business where you're still in a feast of famine and you can't figure out how to make your money work, read the E-Myth Revisited by Dr. Michael I don't know if it's Doctor, by Michael Gerber. Do you ever read any fiction? I reread the Twilight Saga every year. Telling you all my little business. I love the Twilight Saga. Like, I love the Twilight Saga. So that's the only fiction that I read every single year because I love it. I occasionally read fiction. I'm more of a nonfiction girl, so somebody would have to recommend some fiction to me. Like, I read the series The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and it was amazing and horrible all at the same time. And I really wish I wouldn't have started reading it because it's horrible, but it's also really well written and really amazing. But I'm not really into fiction. My imagination is so vivid. Like, that stuff is real to me. So it's really hard for me to separate it when I go to sleep. But yeah, I read the Twilight Saga over every year, like the actual books. When are you supposed to start a savings? Following Dave Ramsey, baby step 1 is $1,000 savings or $500 if your income is under $20,000 a month. It's the first baby step. Every time you drink water, I go grab my glasses too. Yeah, Xavier, you're right. After your 4 walls are current. So there's a baby step, a phantom baby step is baby step 0. And that's after all of your bills are current. Then you start baby step 2. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Yeah, Eva, I hope that the E-Myth, like, it just was so wonderful. So yeah, I'm happy that that's helping you. Thank you, Variety Girl. I appreciate it. Do you have a GoFundMe page, or how do you feel about people doing those? I don't have a feeling about people doing them. I personally wouldn't do a GoFundMe page. I tried the Patreon account, and in general, I understand the philosophy of crowdsourcing. The way that I think of it is like, if you had a subscription to a magazine, you pay $5 a month to the magazine or $10 a month to the magazine gives you value, and so that's why you pay a monthly subscription. So that's kind of how I think of the Patreon account. GoFundMes are a little bit different because it seems to be a lot of people do those when they're going through different hardships and things like that, and it's an interesting way to ask for support. Me personally, the Patreon account wasn't something that was in alignment with my overall business goals, so for me, it didn't make sense. It was more of a distraction from my business goals than it was an asset. And I prefer to allow people to give to me however they want to. And I find that, like, if I create a Patreon or if I create a GoFundMe, like, there's only one way you can give. And I think that, or I know that I earn money through value, right? Like, so I don't earn money through the time that I put in. I don't earn money through the effort that I put in. I earn money through the value that I put in. And because I'm more focused on the value that I put out, I'm much more open to the variety of ways that money can come in. So, like, for example, somebody bought me a microwave. Not that I was planning on buying a microwave, but if I was, the money that I was going to spend on a microwave, I no longer have to spend that money anymore. But if I had a Patreon account, then that would limit that person to only giving to me technically through that way. So I prefer to keep all avenues for giving open rather than channel them to one specific form as a general person that I am, but then also as a business model. Because for me, the Patreon account, when I was trying to build it into my business model, it was just more of a distraction than it was a support. So yeah, gotta love Twilight. Yeah, I just really liked it. There's something so, like, innocent and endearing about it. I just like it. Yeah, you think they're hardship, but some of them lie, yeah. The reason City Girl isn't being subtracted from my business as opposed to my personal is because I created a new business. So I liquidated my old businesses and closed them, and that was converted into personal debt. And but when I'm giving the description, just so people understand what it is, and I don't have new debts on my new business, and I don't want to create new debts on my new business. Yeah, just binge watching I watch it every now and again too, but I love reading it. The cadence of that writer, I just think she did a really good job the tempo, excuse me. She just did a really good job in the tempo. Like, I am transported to Forks every single time. Yes, I paid for FPU and attended the group meetings, or did you just follow the plan? I attended the meetings twice. I had originally planned to go every single, it's 9 weeks. So I originally planned to go every 9 weeks until I was debt free. But because I was able to create the community with you all, I didn't have to do that. But yeah, I attended the classes twice. How were you able to get an apartment with so much debt? I think honesty, integrity, and income. Mostly integrity and income. I was very honest with the realtor, and I had income. I did not get a wine bottle opener yet. When is the last time you visited your hometown? I just got back a day ago, yesterday. I was there for 4 or 5 days. Yes, I hung out with my family. I love my family. I don't have an issue with my family. Yes, they 100% support my debt-free journey. They're super excited. My sister is actually in here now. Sabrina Flowers is her name. No, I wasn't the personal guarantee on the business debt. I chose, because I have a personal relationship with that vendor, I chose to convert it into personal debt. She said, Melinda said, I think I've learned enough from watching you to get started without a program. I know sometimes I buy things just to feel productive and ends up just being an excuse to prolong getting started. I agree. Trust that feeling. Do you do any kind of investing through Fidelity or other means? Nope, I'm not in the investing phase, but when I get in the investing phase, I'll likely be just as transparent as I am now. Okay, see you later, Janice James. The movie Dragon Tattoo was very interesting. The main female character really went through a changes, and yeah, it was, it's good, but it's horrible. Like, nobody wants to read that and that be the conclusion. Like, that was horrible. Like, but it's good, but it's horrible. I have not seen the sci-fi Poomsy. I appreciate the idea of finding a philosophy that works for you. Yeah, because Dave Ramsey isn't for everybody. Twilight made me fall in love with Seattle again. Oh, about the wine bottle. If you hold it lighter, mash to the side and sort. Okay. What's your opinion on e-readers versus physical books? I'm a physical book girl. I have a couple books on ebook, but if I really love you, I'm gonna buy it in hardback. If I really love the book. And because people are moving away from books, I've been able to find a ton of books at the thrift store. So they're like 50 cents or $1, which is really nice. Yes, Dave Ramsey has a YouTube channel and a podcast. And he's on iHeartRadio. I don't have a video discussing City Girl or dealing with business debt. It probably would fall within the same range of where we are now. It's just debt. But City, there's videos about the emotion in general when I'm doing my budget report cards about City Girl. Diane, you're so real. Thank you for sharing. Love your channel. I got to get out of debt many years ago. It's so worth it. You can always learn something new. Thank you. Yes, you guys keep me inspired. You guys are fantastic and amazing. And yes, we are very off topic. And I'm just continuing to answer like it's not 9:04. Okay, we are 2 hours later. So we are going to jump off this call, but I just want to let you guys know I deeply appreciate you for supporting my work, and I appreciate you showing up for me and showing up for yourself. Please, please, please let me know if you have any comments, any questions. Please keep commenting, and if you want to sign up to work with me personally, just email me at info@staceyflowers.com. So I will talk to you all very soon. Good night. Bye. Doesn't want to let me be late. Great.